Hey friends, so I am just messing around with Squarespace's new editor, Fluid Engine. And Fluid Engine allows for you to be able to, is their new editing style that allows for you to be able to move blocks of content around. Um, and unique layouts. So you're pretty much working on this grid or row style. So I'll show you exactly what I mean inside of this demo. Now, very quickly before I jump into the demo, if you are using, this is available on Squarespace 7.1 currently. It's not available on 7.0 or older websites. But if you're using 7.1, you will have access to this on all newer sites. If you are a Circle member, if you go to your settings tab, we are Circle members and Squarespace experts on the platform. If you go to your settings, you will be able to go through, if you're a Circle member, you will be able to actually turn this feature off. If you start playing around with it and you don't like it, you have the Fluid Engine where we have it activated currently on this demo site, but you can also opt out of it as well. You'll have access to it on any of your current sites that you like. This one's just a demo that I started from scratch and I haven't activated. But on your other sites, you can actually upgrade each section on your website where it'll show the upgrade on each section that you can do it. But let's go ahead and just jump right into this and show you a couple things that you actually can do. So in this one here, I actually just took one of the layouts that they had and I just expanded on the layout and kind of moved things around. So as you can see, we have this image that's showing behind the actual words. You weren't able to do this before on the classic editor. So simply I can click on this image that I put behind here, and here you'll notice that it has a move forward. So if I were to click on move forward, it's moving now on top of the actual graphics. And I can simply just go through and just hit this button again to move it backwards. You also move your graphics, your elements, all of that goodness all throughout this layout. So throughout a grid. So like if I were to move this, as you can see, there's a grid that actually pops up on the background. And so this allows me to be able to drag, like literally when they mean drag and drop, this is now literally like drag and drop. Like all I have to do is just hold this down and I can just drag and drop it wherever I want it. And I can also go through here and so I'm going to leave that there, but I'm going to click on, let me see if we can grab this here. Let's try to bring this here so I can try to grab those words that's attached here. Actually, let me move this up. Okay, so move that up and now I can get to this. Okay, so I can easily just go through and just put this back where I want it as well. You can expand it. So all you have to do is just simply just hold down the edges and you can expand something or you can decrease. Now this particular one as well, which weren't really able to do. And all of this you could do now without having any code. So let me put this right back behind here because that's where that was. It was on the behind. Okay, so all of this you could do without code, which is amazing. You can do all of this without code. So even the background of this, if you go to hit on the little edit icon here, this is where you have background. So I have background turned on. So you can turn it off. So there's no background here on these particular words, or you can turn it back on and you can actually go through and customize it. So how you want the padding for it to be, etc. So I just wanted all of mine just to be really close to the actual words. The other great thing about this as well, so you see how there's this spacing. So if you're wondering whether or not you're going to need to have spacers anymore, that's going to be a no. You're not going to have to use spacers anymore with this because, again, you're literally just going through and just dragging it and dropping wherever it is that you want to. But here, there's like this little blue arrow here that you can simply just pull it up, and this will remove the excess space. So you can actually go through and pull it up. Before, we weren't able to take graphics all the way to the edge of the page. Now you can. So like how this one here, like this grid, when I move this over, this grid stops here. But if I wanted to take this to the edge of the page, like how I had it before, all I have to do is just simply just move it and take it to the edge of the page. Now, how you can go through and add different elements is at the top, you would click on add block. And this is going to be all of the elements and all of that goodness that you had access to before. So you just simply just choose what you would have done before. And what it does is it pops it up here at this top left, and you just drag it to wherever you want it to go. So I'm just going to drag this button here. And we can do it. We can leave it there, and I can just kind of pull this down just a little bit, so create a little bit more of a space. But if I decide, hey, I don't really like the way that looks right there, I can always just easily, as you can see, it is so simple to simply just drag it and drop it to where it needs to be. Now you can also edit your sections, and you can edit the grid itself. So if you were to click on edit, kind of move back over here a little bit. Okay, it's acting like it doesn't want to move me. Okay, move on over. Okay, so you can go through and click on edit, and you can actually increase, decrease your row count. So right now, this one's actually set to 18, but if I wanted to increase this to make it a little bit more, I can actually go through and I can do that, the gap in between. So this will make it where there's no gaps at all in between the grid, where everything is directly on top of each other. Or you can go back and go back to the other layout, but you can also increase and decrease it from here as well. So as you see that gets a little bit wider as well. Okay, so that's really good here. You can also do fit to screen and make some selections there. Your height, the small, medium, large is pretty much the same as like what we had before in the classic editor, inside the classic editor too. All right, so I'm going to go back here, and I'm just going to discard the changes that I made. Let me go back. All right, so far I'm really liking the Fluid Engine. Do I think that you should automatically just go through and switch to the Fluid Engine? I did notice there's certain things, especially on websites that I've already designed, and I go back and I do the Fluid Engine that just seem to not move that well on designs on sites that I've already designed. So it still may be just a little bit glitchy. The good thing about it is if you have a site that you already designed, you can upgrade section by section. So what I would recommend is maybe going through and duplicating a section before you make the changes. That way you don't mess up your site, or just duplicating the full page and just adding it to your non-link section. So for example, this is the non-link section. All you would need to do is click on settings, and just click on duplicate page, confirm the duplication, and it's going to pop in the non-link section. So that way you can go through and you can start upgrading those pages on your Fluid Engine to Fluid Engine if you want to try to go through and play around with it. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm not going to change them all over yet, but I do want to play around with some layouts. The other thing as well as the mobile. So let's take a look at the mobile here. The mobile is going to be a tad bit different. It's going to actually be a little bit better. I'm going to add that block back, that button block back, but it's going to be a little bit different than what it was before. Before, what you had on the computer version was the same that was actually on the mobile version. Well, now you can actually adjust those layouts. So the layout can be different on mobile than it's going to show up on the computer. So if I were to go here, let's go ahead and save this really quickly. Okay, and so if we were to go up here and we were to go to the mobile view, you see how the layout is a little wonky or so on the mobile? You can actually edit in the mobile to make this look good. So maybe we have this here. All right, so maybe we'll leave this here. Maybe move it up a little bit. Let's shrink it back a little bit here. But I still want this image to be behind. So I'm still going to put the image behind. Let's see. I don't want to move it forward. I want to have it behind. Let's see. Okay, so it looks like it's appearing that it's running behind there. Okay, and then we'll move. So you'll move it the way you want it to be on mobile. So let's see. Maybe we'll move this down a little bit. Maybe we'll move this up. And we'll move this maybe here. And actually, maybe because it's on mobile, maybe we'll make this just a tad bit smaller so you can pull the corners in to make it a little bit smaller, or you can make it larger. So that's the great thing about it. You can kind of pull those corners to make it smaller or larger. And we're gonna kind of do the same thing here. We'll kind of take this off the page like how we did before. And maybe we'll still kind of fill it out here to make it long, kind of like how we did on the other version. All right, and we need this to be before. And like I said, it's going to take, I definitely think it's going to take some getting used to. By most of us, I think it's going to take a little bit getting used to. Let's see, we're on heading 3. Maybe we'll make, no, not heading 2. Maybe we'll make this heading 4. I wanted to make it a little bit smaller here, not like this. And like you said, depending on the design that you have, hold on one second. Depending on the design that you have, you may end up doing a lot of editing. It just depends on the design that you have. So the good thing about, I guess, with the regular classic editor, that you were pretty much able to, there we go. It's kind of better like when it's in the middle like that. It was automatically responsive. This, when you do those particular layouts, is just not going to be as responsive. It's still going to be responsive, I guess. They're still going to have it where it is a responsive mobile website. It's just not going to be that same type of design that you had before, because again, you're kind of messing around and doing a lot of unique. I kind of wanted that over that like that. You're kind of going through and doing a lot of unique layouts. I don't want that to go too far. And we'll move this up just a tad. I still kind of want this in the middle like this. Okay. And then all this space, okay, we got the learn more button. And then you have all of this space here. All you need to do is just pull this up here. I don't want to put it all the way tight up. Hold on. A couple blocks down is fine. And so now, like, again, it still looks very unique on mobile, but now it's way, as you can see, it's way different than how it originally adjusted. And then if I were to go through and I were to hit save and I go back to the desktop version is exactly the way that we left it. So as you can see, there's so much possibility. There's really endless possibilities that you can do with this. And as I can't wait to like really start going in and start designing websites for clients, I need to change this. Even though it's just a demo, but going through and designing websites for clients with these particular sites, because I think it's going to definitely be a game changer just for us to be able to go through and design, especially for those of us. Not sure why that's not moving. Especially for those of us that we don't know major coding. Like I don't know, even though we design tons of websites and things of that nature, but I don't actually write code. I do know how to use code. I do know how to find code, but not necessarily go through and write code. So I feel like this is something that's really good for this will be good for our company to be able to use, and many other people, or just people who are just DIYing their website. I feel like this is going to be definitely a game changer for them to be able to use. So as you can see, as I'm even talking to you guys, as I'm going through and making changes to it, and I'm moving stuff up, I'm moving stuff down, there are things that are actually going through and moving around. So you want to make sure that you kind of go back through and edit and move this stuff around. Oh, and the other thing that I did not let you know is that you are now supposed to be able to copy images together. So what I mean by that is I should be able to pull these in together and move them all at one time. That's pretty cool. What I would like to see, and I'm not sure if you can do this, I would like to see actually grouping them together. You know, something kind of like when you use Canva, how you can take images together and you can group them together. That way you can continually move them together. That would be pretty cool if we were to see that. But again, this is something fairly new that Squarespace just past couple of weeks. I know it's been available to us in Circle for a little bit, but using it as demos, but hey, it's a pretty new system, and I know that it's going to keep getting better and better, and I'll keep making tweaks to it. So let me know in the comments what you guys like about Fluid Engine, or if you don't like it and you just don't plan on using it, definitely go ahead and let me know in the comments. Or if you have some videos of some cool layouts that you're doing, I would love to see those as well. So feel free to share those with me. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to this channel for more videos just like this. Take care.